Alright, we got ourselves an Xbox Series X from a customer, Emmanuel, and he says that the HDMI wasn't giving him any pictures, so he took it to a cell phone repair shop locally, and when they returned it to him, they said everything worked, and we took it home, and now it won't even power on. So I'm about to find that out for myself for the first time. I got everything hooked up to our test TV. So we'll see what happens see what he means. Pressing the power button and absolutely nothing. Okay. Well, that's as literal of a case as you can get. Nothing. Now obviously we've done the power cycling just by virtue of him unplugging everything and bringing it to me. So we don't have to worry about checking a power cycle because it's been done and no power. So we're gonna have to open this guy up and see what happened, namely from the cell phone repair shop. What did they do? I've seen cases where previous repair shops have really messed up, and I'm not ruling that out for this. Okay, I've started removing the innards of our Xbox Series X, and I think I found the problem. This white ribbon cable here is what connects to the little tiny board. I don't know if I can get inside. Yeah, a little bit. You can see in the back there, that little green board. That's where the power switch resides, and that's what that white cable is connected to. And when I first opened it, it was kind of like here, so I thought maybe it was connected. But then after, moving it a little, this kind of boop, just like that, came right out. I'm like, oh, this was never reconnected to the motherboard. So let's make sure we can get it back in okay. Bear with me, doing this while holding a phone. There we go. Feels a little loose, but I'm thinking it should be okay. Now this is in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop in the fan and optical drive back in real quick, and without screwing everything back together, I'm going to give it a quick test with the power. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, moment of truth. We got it hooked up to power and HDMI. And we got the test TV over here, so let's give it a try. We're getting no power. Wow. One moment. I know I'm upside down, sorry. Hopefully none of y'all get dizzy. So is this, it doesn't appear to be in there loose. No power. Well, I have disconnected the chassis and motherboard from the power supply. I'm going to take a look at that in a bit. First, we're going to examine. It's pretty clean. So, we don't have. What the heck? What the? No, seriously. This just happened. You heard this go like that, right? And this just fell off. Oh my God. This is one of the worst HDMI port replacements I've ever seen. What is this green stuff, first of all? Second of all the traces are lifted completely. Oh my goodness. Wow. This could be the problem, or at least a problem. I'm definitely going to tell the customer to get his money back. I'm going to keep exploring by taking a look at the power supply, but for now, I need to contact the customer right away about this. All right, I'm moving on, but I'm not really moving on. I just took a quick peek underneath the power supply, like the main unit here, to make sure there's nothing wrong here. Now, you'll notice I said that the ribbon cable here going to the power button was loose and popped out at some point. It might have even popped out at any point while I was opening it up. In either event, even with the ribbon cable plugged back in, the power wasn't turning on. I'm wondering if it's something having to do with what they attempted to do here. I gently placed this back on. I could just easily pop that back off. What I'm going to do, I talked with the customer. He wants me to just put it back together and give it back to him, and he's going to deal with the cell phone repair company himself. I will say that this is kind of a PSA now at this point. And I'm just going to be showing objects on the screen while I'm talking. So listen more than watch. If you take your game console to a cell phone repair company, mobile phone, like the ones that deal with tablets, phones, etc., they specialize in those. They have the tools and the training specifically for those. But if you take them, your gaming console, to a place like that for something like an HDMI port or something similar, like replacement, you run the risk of losing a lot of money. And this is like the example, not just the example. Because if they don't know what they're doing with their hot air guns, they could do a lot of damage. You saw it earlier. They could do a lot of damage, and they'll say, oh, everything's fixed, and nothing's fixed. Now, I've never seen an example where they were so blatantly dishonest before, but I have had experiences with customers in the past that take a newer generation console, just like the Series X, like a PS5, Xbox One, etc. They've taken it to such a store, and they do a terrible, unprofessional job when it comes to replacing ports, repairing this or that, like repairing power issues, etc. I've seen about enough to where I'm making the declaration now. I'm actually going to put this public on YouTube. Like, I'm not telling you not to. I'm telling you, you will probably overpay, and you will probably not get the service that you paid for. You definitely run that risk. Take it to somebody who knows games, myself, or see if there is anyone in your local area who deals specifically with repairing, restoring, modifying gaming consoles. Okay? That's why I tell people that I try not to do anything involving mobile phones or tablets, with the exception of, oh, can you replace the screen or battery? If I know the person and it's an easy enough process, then I'll usually do it. But I try to stay away from that stuff, just like I try to stay away from fixing PCs or laptops. You know, there are companies that are way better suited for that specialty than I am. The tools I have, the training I have, deals with gaming consoles and controllers and games, period. So you can trust me when it comes to having to replace one of these. Just like you can trust a cell phone repair store more to figure out what's wrong with your cell phone, even if that's something simple like replacing your screen. Like, I can do it, and I can do it well, but they could probably do it more efficiently. TLDR, take the things that you've spent hundreds of dollars on to a place that knows specifically how to service that type of thing. Otherwise, you could end up with a lot of hurt. And in the words of Louis Rossmann, I thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something today.